Hey guys, for today's video, we are going to be programming our rocket to reach low Earth orbit. So we're going to come to build, and to be able to get to the programming spot, you're going to go to the bottom right over here, the X. You're going to click on that, and it should pop up to on start, and then just everything around it with all these things on the left hand side. And so on start, we can do a bunch of stuff. So if you want a text to pop up, like do a countdown or say blast off, you wait 1 second, display text, then you just write what you want. I'm going to do blast off, and then send just blast off. I'm going to set throttle to 100%. You don't do 100 in this because it's just between -1 and 1. You just do 1, and that is 100%. And then 0.3 is 30%, 0.5, 50%, and all around like that. And then we're going to be activating our first stage. So then it will take flight. And then to make our gravity turn, we are going to wait until button on the second one down, at the second one down in the corner, and the second symbol. And you're going to be in the third one down here. You're going to do greater than, and then you're going to come down to the fifth one down, altitude, change it to ASL, doesn't really matter, but I like it to be above sea level, and then you're going to put greater than, whatever you want to where you'll make your gravity turn. I'm going to put mine at 10,000, you can put yours at whatever you want, and then when that happens, I'm going to set my craft pitch to 50. You don't have to do the point in this. You can do the actual number. And I set mine to 50. You can set it to whatever you want. And then I also decrease my throttle down to 30%. So that'll be 0.3. And so right now, we should have blasted off and then made our first gravity turn. So we'll go to a test flight. So we blast off. We're going. We can set time mode up to ×2 here, so it'll go faster. We can do that in the program too. And so we're at 2,000. Once we get to 10,000, we'll make our gravity turn. Halfway there. And we're at 10,000. Set our craft pitch to 50 and went down to 30% throttle. And that is our first gravity turn. Obviously, this won't get us to orbit, so we're going to exit. And then come here back to our designer or programmer. And after we have this, we're going to make our other big turn to get to orbit. So we're going to wait until blank greater than blank, altitude, ASL. I'm going to do mine around 32,000. You can do yours whenever you want. And then I'm going to set my craft pitch to 5. And then my throttle to 100%. And then test run. Here's where you need to be paying attention. So after that, when you come in here, you're going to wait till your crash point, which is this orange thing, reddish orange, or in yellow, kind of. Comment down below what color you think that is. It's like orange in the middle with yellow on the outside. Gets halfway around the Earth, and you're going to actually set the throttle to 0, and you're going to look at the altitude when you did that, and then look at the apoapsis, which is at the top. I'll show you and what that's at, and that's going to help us with our next programming stage. We just made our first gravity turn. Speed up time to ×2. And once we're at 32,000, we're making our bigger gravity turn, which we just added. We're at 25,000 right now. Almost there. 32,000, we're making our big turn. And here's where you're gonna watch. Wait until that crash point gets about halfway to 1/3 around the Earth. You wouldn't want to go too much, but you definitely want to go not too short. So we're going. Kill the engines. Now it's around 56, 55. And then my number is 312, 311. I'm going to do around like 250. So it's not there. And that's our apoapsis. So now we're going to exit out now that we memorized what we had. And you're going to come, wait until, and you're going to do that first when you killed it, what it was, which our altitude was 55,000. When that happened, remember, you do the greater than 55,000. Right there. And then that is when we kill the engines. So we're going to set our throttle to 0. And then right now we can also come to set time mode. Up here, bring it up here, the on start, and set the fast forward just so we don't have to do it. And then you're going to do wait until again, greater than, altitude, and our apoapsis that we had, so I was like 250. It was like 3 something, but I'm just going to do 250,000. And that is when I'm going to set throttle to 1. And that will get me to orbit. Hopefully it works for you. And I don't want to go too far past orbit, so I will wait until again. And I'm going to be doing the greater than. And the reason why I don't do equal to is because it just, sometimes it's not exactly equal to what it was. It might have like a 0.1129. So I just do the greater than. And then we're going to do orbit apoapsis this time. And we're going to do it around like, say like 1,000 or 1 million. Do like 1 million. And that should stop our fuel. That's when we're going to set it to 0. And then what can also help is, because you're not going to wait till it gets all the way up there. So you're going to want to just fast forward time, but you don't want to go too far. So you're going to come set time mode to fast forward, which is just ×2, which works. So this should get us to orbit. So save to craft. And we blasted off. And our first gravity turn is at 10,000. Our second gravity turn is at 32,000. And we kill the engines at 55,000. Or whatever you put. It doesn't have to be the same. Whatever your rocket works should be roughly around there. The first one should be roughly around 5,000 to 15,000. I just put it right in the middle. And then our next one's at 32,000. Can be whenever you guys want your rocket to turn. And we just need 2 more thousand. There we are, final turn. And then we're here. And we're gonna make sure this works. So we're gonna wait, we kill the engines at 55,000. So in 5,000, we're gonna kill it. And we killed it. It's a pretty good spot. But as you see, my thing is lower than 250, so it will not work. So we have to end flight, go back to the designer, and change this down to 180. So it's lower than the orbit apoapsis. And that's just because my altitude when I stopped it, it's hard to guess where that was when I first stopped it. So I stopped it too soon. Otherwise it would have worked. And yours may have worked, may have not. It's a really quick fix. Once you have it actually stopped with the program, you can really actually find the apoapsis. It's just, you can guess on the first one so you don't have to do extra test runs. So Made our first gravity turn, and our time is already at times 2, so we didn't have to do anything. And we're making our final big turn right now. And so we are going to be killing the engines, and we should have, because if you go past the apoapsis, you just go down, and you'll never reach your 250,000 mark, which was mine, and it only goes up to like 190. So we're just putting at like 180, which will work. And why you have this set back to times 2, because you're not going to wait till that climbs all the way up there. You're going to speed up time, but it won't let you speed up time until your craft is grounded or outside the atmosphere, which is roughly around like 78,000. It'll let you do it. So 78,000 should let me do it there. And then it'll automatically go back down to times 2. And boom, we're in orbit. And then it killed the engines because our apoapsis was at 1 million. And that's how you reach low Earth orbit. Hope you enjoyed, and comment down below if this helped.